Right, take two. I do apologise to all those people that were tuning in, and for some reason the internet's not been running really right. My laptop's not been running right. I've had to switch everything off, switch everything on, do a quick clean, and we're back again with the news again for you. It'll probably be better second time round. Anyway, and also in that time the sun has come out and it's looking a lot nicer, a lot brighter. Look at that. The other good thing is Jane has managed to get washing out for the first time in, believe it or not, 7 days. That's how bad the weather's been. Now, last night there were strong weather warnings being issued by the government, warning people across Greece to close their windows, lock things down because there were high winds on the way. I think the ferries were also disrupted a bit as well. However, everything seems to be absolutely lovely this morning. That's the vision across to Amber Lockerbie and also to Kerry. And again, it's looking lovely up there. Lovely clouds. Not a dark cloud among them. Just lovely wisps of cloud. Hopefully, they're all going to get burned off. And we're going to have a lovely day. And as you can see, bright sunshine. A bit of a wet area. Because obviously the weather last night with the rain, it just rained a lot yesterday, I've got to be honest. Looking out towards the orange trees and stuff, and the direction down towards Kalamaki and Laguna, and I've got to be honest, you can't even see through the, we seem to have, it just seems to have got very thick with growth from what I can see. But anyway, again, lovely sky. Sun is up as well, and it is so warm, although there is a bit of a chilly wind blowing, I've got to be honest, it's a lot better anyway. Also, can I just say again, thank you yesterday for all the goodwill messages for my birthday. I was, as you're probably aware from the first broadcast of yesterday, I was very overwhelmed with everything a little bit. I was really shocked at all the people phoning me up throughout the day. I had, nearly 500 or so personal messages. I also had phone calls, people phoning me all day yesterday. Also want to say a big shout out to my son as well. We were chatting for ages last night. It was really nice to have a chat with you. Also, can I just say a big hello to Leah over in Sheffield as well. I'm still waiting for the parcel, my love. Thank you anyway for sending it. God knows when it'll arrive. But anyway, thank you for that. Can I also say a big thank you to a tractor? She called us up and was chatting to us for ages as well. Nice to have you all the way from Ireland. Anybody, who else was phoning me? God, there were so many. But also, I've got to say a big thank you to Jane yesterday for a fantastic present, which basically she commissioned a painting, or 3 paintings actually, a set of paintings of a Volkswagen camper as well. And she commissioned this portrait. It was quite a rigmarole. Not a rigmarole, but you know, getting the colours right and everything else. They're going to go up on the wall. So if anybody needs any paintings by commission done, Mary, the wife of Ray. Trying to remember their surnames now. Ray Maurice. I can't remember the surname. But anyway, you can find them. She's put a little ad, as it were, on my Facebook page. But fantastic work. Really, really nice. Nice to have a proper oil painting. Not a print, not a copy, but a proper oil painting. Vibrant colours and everything else. Really nice. They're going to go up on our wall. I know my brother liked the look of them as well, because he phoned me yesterday as well. And he also said it. And of course, my mum as well phoned as well, which was really lovely. I had a nice chat with her as well. And thank you to everybody at Green Gables as well. Also, you will have noticed now that the show that I did for the 60s, that is now up online as you can download the video element of that. But at the moment, for some reason, Mixcloud seems to be offline for some reason. But the audio is on Mixcloud, but the video is on the Dropbox. Just click on the link and you can download it and then watch it at your pleasure with the pictures and with the images. And once again, just send me some feedback on what you think of that. I would really like to know if you enjoyed it, if you liked the music of it, and some of the stories in the video as well. I know a copy's been sent to my mum, and hopefully she's going to actually sit and watch it as well at some point. Right. Let's have a look at the news then for today. Oh, can I just say a quick hello to Ron Barnbrook? He's celebrating his birthday today. But not only that, his wife is celebrating her birthday as well. They both got their birthdays on the same day, which I think is rather nice. So anyway, happy birthday, Ron. I can't remember how old you are. Certainly older than me. And also your lovely wife as well, who's celebrating her birthday today as well. So I just thought I'd send you some greetings all the way from Greece. There you go. Right, okay. Here's the COVID details for the last 24 hours. It is now date, I think, 37, or it could be 38. I've lost count myself for it. 14th of December. Let's have a look then. Right, COVID in the last 24 hours then. We've had 693 new cases here in Greece, which brings the total number of cases up to 124,534, of which 52% of those are men. Of those infections, 10 of them were detected at gateways into the country. I've not actually seen any stats to say if any of the virus has come to the island, which I don't think it has, or even Corfu has had anything either, or Kefalonia or any of the Ionian Islands. So at the moment, it's 639 new cases. So that is down on what it has been. We have at the moment 552 people that are in incubation across the country in ICUs. The average age of those people is around about 66 years of age, of which 162 are women. The rest obviously are men, and 77% of those incubated patients have underlying diseases and are over the age of 70 or older. At the moment, 730 patients have been through the ICUs and have been discharged from them. Anyway, finally, when it comes to the death record at the moment, 85 deaths were recorded yesterday, bringing the total number of deaths to 3,625 since the start of the pandemic, of which 1,448 of those deaths were women. The rest were men. The average age of those that were passing away is 79 years of age, and 95.8% of those had some form of underlying disease or were over the age of 70. And our condolences to their families for a loss at this time so close to Christmas. Anyway, the Greek government has warned, as the crisis in the health service continues, it is essential that even with the easing of the measures for Christmas, the public have to strictly adhere to all measures that are in place. And I must admit, yesterday, talking to people phoning me up, wishing me a happy birthday and explaining to them lockdown system, a lot of people quite shocked at just how rigorous the lockdown system is here in comparison to what's going on in the UK with the tier system that's running over there. My main gripe was the fact we've got no virus at all in our area. We are an island, and in some ways a tier system would be far better for us here in Greece, where local areas can set it themselves as how they want to operate with the coronavirus, especially the fact that we've got hardly anything here at all. Businesses are still all closed, and people just basically want to get back to some remnants of normality. But unfortunately, we're all lumped in with everybody else right across the country where they are having problems. Anyway, although in the last 24 hours there has been a reduction in new infections, the number of incubated patients in intensive care units remains at critical levels, with deaths showing little sign of significantly reducing. And that's mainly for the northern part of the country, Thessaloniki, also around Athens, Attica area, where they have got high rates of infection. That's why patients have been moved to other locations across the country for treatment, because it takes some of the pressure off the ICUs in those areas. So far here in Zakynthos, we've not had any patients being moved into our island for any treatment, although some of the Ionian Islands like Corfu have had patients being moved there from other areas in Ionia for treatment there, and I've been reporting those as we've been going along. Anyway, the good news today is this then: the bookstores, the hairdressers, the barbecues, the barbers shops are open this morning. They opened at 7 o'clock. And also the KETO, which is the MOT service here in Greece, they opened this morning as well. Anyway, just to give you some of the rules and regulations, reference those. The bookshops and the hairdressers and the barbers, they're all open this morning, as I've already said. Now, when it comes to the bookstores, it seems only 4 people up to 100 square metres are allowed into a bookshop, and for every 15 square metres, 1 additional person is allowed to go in. Now, the good thing about the bookshops, they've got optional opening hours, so it's up to them whether they want to stay open, but they are allowed now under the rules that are out that they can open at 7 o'clock and close at 9 o'clock at night, so that gives people a bit more time to go and buy something from the bookshops. They are also been given the option to open on a Sunday, but those dates are the 20th of December. They can open on Sunday the 20th, and also Sunday the 27th of December. So basically you can go in just before Christmas, get whatever it is you want to get, a little present for somebody, and then obviously you can then get another little present before New Year's Eve, which, to be honest, the Greeks celebrate New Year more than they do Christmas. So basically you can go in on the 27th on a Sunday and purchase books or whatever they have in their shop, in the bookshops. Hairdressers now. Now, hairdressers are open again this morning, but they're only open by appointment. So you can't just walk in off the street and have your hair done. They must also complete, the businesses got to complete an appointments list at the start of business each day, which has to be displayed so that auditors, as they're calling them, can come in and check to make sure. And obviously if this is not displayed, I'll guarantee there's a fine going there as well. Now, they're allowed to open, and they also have optional opening hours. They can open from 7 o'clock in the morning and they can close at 9 o'clock at night. And they've also been given optional opening hours as well for a Sunday. So you can have your hair done before Christmas Day, and they will be open on Sunday the 20th and also Sunday the 27th of December. So you can have your hair done before Christmas and you can have your hair done before New Year's Eve. And that's a Sunday opening, so they have the possibility of that, but again you have to book your appointment, and obviously the businesses must make sure they have that list to hand if anybody comes in to check. All right. Now, KETO, which I've already explained, is the services for checking vehicles, like the MOT in England. We call it the MOT here. Even the Greeks call it the MOT. Anyway, they are reopened as of today, and customers again can only arrive by appointment or by making a appointment by phone or online. And businesses there with the KETO must have a checklist up again of people who have booked appointments. So if anybody comes in to check, they can say this person's in at this time and that time. Now, the maximum number of people allowed to await while their MOT is being done is 9 people. That's all they're allowing there to wait, 9 people. So just be aware of that, okay? Anyway, the other big story at the moment is from the mayor here on Zakynthos, who's caused a bit of a storm, not just here on the island, but across the country in Greece, where he's accused of non-PC language, calling disabled people cripples and useless, which basically made the press headlines across the country. Well, he's actually printed an open letter which appeared in the press yesterday, explaining what has gone on and apologising for what has gone on, but obviously an apology in context to what's going on within the municipality and his position as the mayor of the island. And I'm going to read you and explain to you what he said. He opens his letter by saying, "I'm absolutely sure that you have misunderstood my spirit, meanings and intentions regarding what I said to the board of directors of the DIAS, of which he is in charge. That was deliberately falsified and published. Basically, he used the wrong language in trying to explain the situation within the DIAS, and this was then leaked to the mainstream media and then obviously blasted right across the country. Anyway, he says, I was not referring to people with disabilities, but to people aged 60 to 65 who, exhausted from many years of work, are in pre-retirement and a pre-retirement stage. So basically, it's the language being used. He was trying to say basically that people working so hard, crippled by what they have done, which obviously is not the right language to use, because misinterpretation can be used or manipulated, I think would be a good word. And he says, I was referring to people with disabilities, but to people aged 60 to 65 who, exhausted from many years of work, are in the pre-retirement stage. My reference to an extreme but common expression in our villages to emphasize the consequences of a long career in our lives only offers recognition and value for these people and who have exhausted themselves as workers and therefore have remained unemployed at this age. Now, basically what's happened is there's people basically in the public sector who are very close to retirement age, and basically they've been offered a help to basically get their stamp to bring them up to qualifying for their pensions by employing them in different departments and different locations. And what he was saying basically in effect was that he didn't think that these people needed to come to the DIAS to work because basically, one, they're that close to retirement age. They're obviously tired, I think would have been a better word, and just wanted to get on with, getting time done so that they can qualify for their pension and obviously find them something to do, but not within the realms of the DIAS, but in maybe another department in another area where they could be employed. Because again, at the end of the day, their stamp was not being paid by the municipality, but their stamp was being paid by the government through a government scheme. Anyway, he said that it was extremely irresponsible and strange and obviously expedient that employees to whom the DIAS, which is on the verge of bankruptcy, owes, after legal appeals of these employees, compensation to those who exceed €1 million to request the employment of these people who do not need the DIAS. And he said it was strange that the DIAS had been trying to get money for these people and obviously bringing it into their department and then obviously employing these people. It's like bringing somebody in on a scheme, paying them just to claim the money. Anyway, he said that it is also extremely despicable that polycentrics who did not claim for 30 years, despite the millions of euros they managed to replace 70 kilometres of asbestos pipes, resulting in a pile of cancer deaths on one hand, and then on the other hand to be threatened daily by cancer, and then tell us that they are supposedly interested in the disabled. So what he's saying, he says, the DIAS is obviously playing a game here, in the fact that on the one hand, you've had your employees out replacing 70 kilometres of asbestos pipeline, which is for the water supply. And basically, you're saying, in one hand, these employees that have become ill through doing that work, you are now, on the other hand, then saying that you are caring about other people coming in to work in the DIAS who have been, who basically are coming into work, who've got disabilities, etc. But the people that you employed who became sick through their work have somehow been left out in the cold and not being given the same help as maybe these other people that are coming in from outside. So basically what he's saying, there's a bit of a hypocrisy. At one minute you're saying we're all for protection of workers. You've had your own workers removing asbestos, and from the sounds of it, moving asbestos in the way that it shouldn't be removed, so these employees then become sick. But on the other hand, you're going on about other employees coming into work in this department who, in their words, were, or in the misinterpreted words of the mayor, were crippled. That 1 minute you're looking out for them, but not for the people that you've already been employing for God knows how many years, who become sick through asbestos. And as you know, removal of asbestos in building contracts is a big thing, especially I know in the UK through my brother's work as a builder. It's a whole industry in itself is the removal of asbestos, and how once asbestos is discovered in works on buildings, work stops until the asbestos is removed, and normally it's specialist teams that will go in with massive decontamination centres that they bring to remove the asbestos and then safely dispose of it. So maybe that hadn't been going on with the DIAS while they were replacing pipelines, and maybe as his work as the boss of the DIAS, he may have highlighted this, and maybe this is something yet to come out in the next few months. But anyway, we shall look on. Anyway, he then says, and this is highlighted in bold letters, don't honestly try to hide. When the disabled were mentioned, the proposals were repeated to be recruited in the municipality. I think by that phrasing, what he's using, he says you're trying to hide certain things, and you're using the employment of recruiting other people in to cover up what's been going on. Anyway, as much as I want to avoid it, I can point out that it is particularly dishonest. The dishonest people who rely on publicly dependent work, living in luxury villas, to try to socially devalue the lead to the resignation of the mayor. I think in this statement he's saying that the DIAS has had people working for it, contractors and people like that who are making a very nice living, thank you very much, who get the tenders for work, and make money off the backs of the DIAS, and maybe make a bit too much money. And he's obviously trying to resort the books, trying to obviously get some semblance of order into what's going on within the DIAS. And basically what he's doing is upsetting these other individuals who've been very comfortable, and basically they want to see him gone because they want somebody in who's going to quite basically pass everything through that they want to get done, and contracts that they want to get, they get it without any hassle. So basically this is what he's meaning by this statement. Anyway, he says the resignation of the mayor, who says all of his life, who lived as a student for the last 15 years, has been disposing of his property to the benefit of the local community, including people with health problems. There he's on about his got money, and this is the thing about the mayor. Everybody said, oh, the mayor's loaded, and he's got a bob or two. He built a beautiful school up in the north end of the island, which again, he's never been able to open that school because of issues with the education departments and the imbalance that the school brings to things. Although the school would be in the Bolymez area, fantastic place to open, because it means that the kids don't have to come all the way into town for their secondary education. They can actually basically have it up in their own local area. So again, he says that he gives stuff to the community, and he basically wants to basically see an improvement in the quality of life. And but he's being undermined by people from within because they're very comfortable, thank you very much, and they don't want to see the apple cart rocked, and they lose out on money that they could otherwise get. Anyway, he then says, if those gentlemen who accused me really cared and loved people with disabilities and believed that my reports would upset them, they should have made them public. They should not have made them public, trying to create a social competent against me, but in a constructive way, point out to me my mistake. So basically what he said, if I use the wrong language, instead of using it to undermine me, tell me that, sorry, Mr. Mayor, I wouldn't phrase it like that. I would phrase it like this. or as I said before in an earlier broadcast, shut the fuck up. Basically, he would have rather those people came to him and said, I don't think you said the right thing there. And it was interesting that he made these comments on November the 20th. And it wasn't until last week, nearly midway through, shall we say, December, that then it was decided, it was leaked basically to the media, but mainstream media got the story first, i.e. people outside of the island, not people on the island, like the local news here of Hermes, Irizita, News 24, or whatever the other local news gatherers are. But it was two Athens-based newspapers, and so the story was then pushed out through them. So anyway, he says they do not deceive anybody. I've now lost my script. Where is it? Here it is. It's back again. He said they do not. I'll start again. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, they do not deceive anyone. I've lost it again. Yeah, they do not deceive anyone. They sold cheap loves and are the ones who wisely, as the apostle described, were the coopers of sounds and cymbals clanging. Basically, they were the people who basically used cheap tactics and cheap love, as in, well, yes, they didn't do it out of sincerity. They did it out of other alternative motives. And the apostle clanging basically means they wanted to bring discord and discontent basically to what he's doing in the way of work as the boss of the Dias. And he can see that they were trumpeting basically discord within the organisation, basically to try and probably get a vote of no confidence, because there have been people resigning from the municipality, from the Dias, saying we can't work anymore with the mayor because of his language, etc., etc. And I think basically what he is, he's a new broom sweeping clean, and people, they don't like change, and that's the bottom line of it. Right, that's it for the news for today. Can I just say thank you to everybody. Thank you for being so patient. And again, thank you for all the well wishes and everything else from my birthday. Greatly appreciated. And once again, I'll be back here again tomorrow with the news. Hopefully it'll run a bit smoother. This is what happens. You take a day off, all right, and everything falls apart that wise. Please check out the online shows. I know at the moment Mixcloud I think is down at the moment, but there is a link to my 60th year in music show. Again, I'd like some feedback on that, what people thought of that show. You can download that as an audio from Mixcloud when it's running again, or you can download it as a video and watch it on your big screen, on your big telly, see the music, see the video. It's another dimension. I would also like to thank as well Green Gables Nursing Home. I'm going to be in the process of making their Christmas special as well, and they'll obviously be able to receive it very quickly now via the Dropbox. And thank you to John Kaz yesterday for the message from me mum. Greatly appreciated. Lovely to see her chatting away, although it looks a bit like an interrogation, to be honest. She was a bit overawed by it, bless her, but it was lovely. And also those people who sent me messages, goodwills and everything else. I still can't believe I'm 60. And also, can I say a quick hello to Hannah as well? She's celebrating her 21st birthday later this week. That was another little job I had yesterday, was to send her a happy birthday. And she said, God, you're 60. I can't believe it. Yes, I am. And also, I think Hannah's mum thought I was only 50. So thank you for that. I think I'm wearing well. All right. I can't wait tomorrow to get this haircut and get myself shorn and made look a bit more human. Anyway, thank you for that. I will speak to you again. You take care. Have a great day, and love to you all. Ta-ra.